So first of all, hello and welcome. Today I'd like to show you how to clean the eyepieces, microscope eyepieces. I have over here, I have eyepieces from my stereo microscope, from my compound microscope, and over here that's a photo projection eyepiece for micrography. All of them are a little bit dirty, they have accumulated some dust, and especially these eyepieces over here, they've also accumulated quite a bit of oil and fat from the eyelashes, and I would like to clean these right now, and I'd like to show you how I'm doing that. First of all, over here I have some lens paper, and it may surprise you, but I'm not going to use the lens paper. Even though the instruction manual states that they can be used and should be used, I still consider the lens paper a little bit too coarse and too rough, and it does not have a lot of surface area to pick up the dust, so I'm not going to use the lens paper. Over here I have regular tissue paper, kitchen tissue paper, which I'm also not going to use. This one is definitely generally not encouraged to be used with optical surfaces. So I'm also gonna put these away. Over here I have some cotton swabs, and I'm also not going to use these because I think that these cotton swabs are packed or a little bit too densely over here, so I think they're also kind of hard on the optics. So if there are some sand grains or dust grains, I'm a little bit worried that the cotton swab will actually compress the dust and the sand grains into the optical surface and thereby scratch the surface. So I'm also not going to use these. Yeah, it is possible to use them, but I generally think I'm going to try a different method today. Over here I have some regular cotton, and this is the thing that I'm going to use. It is pure cotton. There are no additives, there is no powder or anything included here, so it's pure cellulose cotton. And what I'm going to do is the following. I'm going to wrap some of the cotton loosely around a little wooden stick. I bought them in a supermarket. They are actually used for barbecues, so if you put little meat pieces and vegetable pieces on the wooden stick, you generally do that. Yeah, I'm going to use this to wrap some cotton loosely around this wooden stick, and over here I have to also make it like this. And what I have is I have a very, how do you say, lightly wrapped, very loose cotton swab, which I can use now to clean the surfaces, the optical surfaces. You also need some cleaning fluid. Again, here you've got to be really careful. You've got to really follow the instructions of your manufacturer. My manufacturer recommends to use a 70% ethyl ether, diethyl ether, and to 30% alcohol mixture. Not denatured alcohol. Denatured alcohol contains some additives. So I bought this in a drugstore. They mixed it together, and that's my cleaning fluid. So do not use any cleaning fluid which is basically sold for cleaning eyeglasses or windshields or whatever. No, you shouldn't do that. You got to be careful here, because otherwise there's the danger of damaging the coating. I basically apply some of the cleaning fluid to the cotton swab, and I have to really make sure that not too much liquid is on the cotton swab. I actually may use the tissue paper here to remove some excess liquid. I do not want the liquid to flow into the sides of the eyepiece. So the first thing that you should do is you should carefully remove any excess dust. I usually do that by blowing on it. Not the best way to do that. You should probably use some compressed air, but I also do not like to use that because sometimes it's not pure air, it contains some other substances. I never know, you never know, so for this reason I do it the simple way. And you carefully rotate, and without applying any pressure, and you remove all the grease from the eyelashes and all the excess dust. No pressure should be applied, and to take care that no liquid cleaning fluid flows into the sides of the eyepiece here. In the old days, I was told the lens kit, the glue holding the lenses in place could actually be dissolved by the cleaning fluid, so it is really necessary to use, or it was necessary to use a highly volatile cleaning fluid which does not stay around the eyepiece too long. So you do not want to give it any time to dissolve or soften the lens kit. Yeah, actually, let's eyepiece extension. It's easier for me to reach the sides. Again, very loosely, only as much as necessary. As a matter of fact, I mean, I don't know if you can see that, but there's actually discoloration. There's a discoloration on the cotton right now. Okay, you may not be able to see this slightly yellowish. So all the oil and the fat from the eyes actually was collecting on the cotton. So I'm going to use a new one because I do not want to use the same cotton swab to collect more cleaning fluid. Okay, make it a little denser. You always use a fresh one to, yeah, be careful. The ether is an anesthetic, so you may want to use the whole thing in a ventilated room. Remove excess liquid. And you carefully rotate. Oh, look at this dirt here. It's actually the first time in 11 years that I'm cleaning the eyepieces. So far it was not necessary. I do not want to clean them too often because every time when you clean them there's the danger of scratching or damaging optical surfaces. Yeah. And this is it. I'm not going to clean the bottom side here. This is not, yeah, I never touched it anyway. There is no contact with a human eye, and there's no contact with dust anyway. So I'm going to just leave it like that. You have to wait a little bit until the whole thing dries. I am able to see, if I hold it against the light, I'm able to see some kind of a rainbow colors here. This is actually an indication that there is still some lipid, some fat from the eyes on it, which was not completely removed. And here as well, but I think it's fine. It's not going to disturb the optical impression. It's not going to disturb the It's not going to disturb the yeah. Also over here, I see that it's not completely clean, but it's good enough. So I just leave it like this. And yeah, this was basically a short introduction in how I clean my eyepieces. And the next time I'm going to have a look at the rest of the microscope. Okay, wish you all the best.